The flash of the camera blinded me for a second as I stepped into the crowded alumni hall, the air thick with laughter and the clink of glasses. But then I saw it. My best friend since freshman year, Ryan, locked in a kiss with a stranger. Not just any stranger, but another guy, his hands gripping the man's shirt like it was the only thing keeping him from falling apart. My heart slammed against my ribs. This was Ryan, the guy who'd sworn up and down he was straight, the one I'd buried my feelings for years ago to save our friendship. I froze in the doorway, the reunion's festive lights blurring around me as memories flooded back. Ryan and I had met at NYU, two small-town kids from conservative families thrown into the chaos of New York City. He was the outgoing one, always dragging me to parties, while I was the quiet observer, hiding my sexuality behind a wall of sarcasm and late-night study sessions. We'd shared everything. Dorm rooms, secrets, even family holidays when my parents were too busy fighting to notice I was home. But I'd never told him about the way my pulse quickened when he slung an arm around my shoulder, or how I'd lie awake wondering if he felt it too. Pushing through the crowd, I tried to convince myself it was a drunken mistake, a dare from old frat buddies. But as I got closer, the kiss broke, and Ryan's eyes met mine across the room. Panic flashed in them, raw and unfiltered, like he'd been caught stealing something sacred. The stranger whispered something and slipped away, leaving Ryan standing there, his face pale under the strobe lights. "Alex," he muttered when I reached him, his voice barely audible over the music. "It's not what it looks like." But it was exactly what it looked like, and we both knew it. I grabbed his arm, pulling him toward the exit, the cool night air hitting us like a slap as we stumbled onto the sidewalk. "What the hell, Ryan? You're engaged to Sarah. Your wedding's in 3 months. He ran a hand through his hair, avoiding my gaze. "I don't know, man. It's been building up. I thought I could ignore it, but tonight, I just couldn't." His words hung between us, heavy with the weight of unspoken truths. I'd spent years suppressing my attraction to him, convincing myself it was one-sided, that coming out to him would ruin everything. Now, here he was, admitting to the same struggle I'd faced alone. We walked in silence for blocks, the city lights reflecting off puddles from an earlier rain. Ryan finally stopped under a street lamp, his breath visible in the chill. "I've been lying to everyone, Alex. To Sarah, to my parents, to you. Especially to you." His voice cracked, and for the first time, I saw the cracks in his perfect facade. The star athlete, the golden boy headed for a corporate job and a white picket fence. His family back in Texas was old school, church every Sunday, no room for anything that didn't fit their mold. Mine wasn't much better. My dad had disowned my cousin when he came out, and Mom pretended it never happened. "Tell me everything," I said, my own secrets bubbling up. We found a quiet bench in a nearby park, the kind where joggers passed without a second glance. Ryan leaned forward, elbows on knees, staring at the ground. "It started in college after that road trip to the Hamptons. Remember how we got wasted and talked all night? I felt something then, but I pushed it down. Thought it was just the booze." I nodded, my throat tight. That night had been a turning point for me too. I'd almost confessed, but chickened out when he started talking about girls. He continued, his words tumbling out like a confession in a dimly lit booth. "Sarah's great, but marrying her feels like signing my life away. I've been seeing this guy, Mark, on the side. Met him at work. It's wrong, I know, but it feels real in a way nothing else does." Betrayal hit me like a gut punch. Not just for Sarah, but for me. All those years I'd held back, respecting his supposed straightness, and he'd been exploring this without a word. "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked, anger mixing with hurt. "We're supposed to be brothers." Ryan looked up, eyes glistening. "Because I was scared. Scared of what it meant. Scared you'd judge me. Or worse, that you'd." He trailed off, but I knew that I'd feel the same. The air between us thickened, charged with possibility and peril. If we crossed this line, there was no going back. Our families would explode, friendships would shatter. But in that moment, sitting there under the stars, the pull was undeniable. As the night wore on, We talked until dawn crept over the skyline. Ryan decided to come clean to Sarah that weekend, but he begged me to keep quiet until then. I need to do this right, he said. I agreed, though doubt gnawed at me. Was this liberation or destruction? Walking home alone, I felt the weight of his secret merging with mine, a ticking bomb in my chest. Little did I know this was just the spark. The real firestorm was about to begin. The next day, reality crashed in. Sarah called me in tears, her voice hysterical over the phone. Alex, something's wrong with Ryan. He canceled our dinner plans last minute, said he needed space. Do you know what's going on? I stammered, caught between loyalty to my friend and the guilt of lying to her. Sarah had been like a sister to me. We'd bonded over Ryan's quirks, planned surprise parties together. Now I was complicit in her heartbreak. He's just stressed from work. I lied, hating every word. Hanging up, I texted Ryan, we need to talk. Now, he showed up at my apartment an hour later, looking like he hadn't slept. I can't do it yet, he admitted, pacing the living room. My parents are flying in next week for the engagement party. If I tell her now, it'll ruin everything. Frustration boiled over. Ruin what? Your fake life? You're hurting her more by dragging this out. Our argument escalated, voices rising until neighbors banged on the wall. Ryan slammed his fist on the table. You don't get it, Alex. My dad's a pastor. If this gets out, I'll lose my family, my job, everything. I shot back. And what about me? I've been hiding who I am for years because of people like your dad. But you're choosing cowardice over honesty. The words hung there, sharp as knives. Ryan's face hardened, then softened. You're right, but I need time. He left, promising to handle it soon. But doubt lingered. Was he really ready to face the consequences? Or was I just a convenient confidant? That week, tension built like a storm cloud. I avoided Sarah's calls, guilt eating at me. At work, I couldn't focus, my mind replaying that kiss, wondering if Ryan's feelings extended to me or if I was just projecting. Then, Friday night, he texted, meet me at the bar.
Urgent.
I arrived to find him nursing a beer, eyes red-rimmed. Mark broke it off, he said flatly. Said he couldn't be someone's secret anymore. Sympathy warred with jealousy inside me. I'm sorry, I murmured, though part of me wasn't. We drank in silence, the bar's hum fading into background noise. As the alcohol loosened our tongues, Ryan leaned in. What if we tried? You and me. My heart stopped. This was the moment I dreamed of, but now it felt tainted by deception. Ryan, you're still engaged. This isn't fair to anyone. He grabbed my hand under the table. I know, but with you it feels right. The touch sent electricity through me, but I pulled away.
No.
Fix your mess first. Leaving the bar, I felt torn. Pursuing this could mean everything or nothing. But as I hailed a cab, my phone buzzed. Sarah. Ryan's acting weird. Please come over. Panic surged. Had he told her? Or was I about to be dragged deeper into this web? The cab ride felt eternal, each block amplifying the dread. When I knocked on their door, Sarah opened it, her face streaked with mascara. He's gone. Left a note saying he needs time alone. My stomach dropped. Ryan had run, leaving me to pick up the pieces. Betrayal stung fresh. How could he do this? I comforted Sarah as best I could, lies piling up like debt. He'll come back, I said, though I wasn't sure. Inside, anger festered. Ryan's cowardice had put me in the crossfire, forcing me to choose sides. That night, alone in my bed, I realized the true cost. My own integrity was crumbling. The reunion kiss had been the catalyst, but now the fallout was spreading, threatening to consume us all. The search for Ryan consumed the next few days. I called his phone obsessively, leaving voicemails that ranged from concerned to furious. Sarah was a wreck, alternating between sobs and accusations. Did he tell you anything, Alex? You're his best friend. Each question felt like a trap, and I dodged them with half-truths, hating myself more with every evasion. My own family started asking questions too. Mom called from Ohio, her voice laced with worry. Sarah says Ryan's missing. What's going on? I brushed it off, but the web of lies was tightening. Finally, on the third day, Ryan texted, at the cabin upstate, come alone. The drive took hours, winding roads through autumn forests that should have been peaceful but felt ominous instead. The cabin was our old college getaway, a rustic place we'd rented for weekends away from the city grind. Pulling up, I saw his car parked haphazardly, like he'd arrived in a rush. He opened the door before I knocked, looking gaunt and unshaven. Thanks for coming, he said, pulling me into a hug that lingered too long. Inside, the place was a mess. Empty beer cans, scattered clothes. We sat by the fireplace, the crackling with the only sound for minutes. Why'd you run? I demanded. Ryan stared into the flames. Couldn't face her, or myself. He confessed everything. The growing doubts about his sexuality, the pressure from his impending marriage, the fear of disappointing his parents. Dad's sermon last Easter was about traditional values. If he knew. His voice trailed off, but I filled in the blanks. Disownment, shame, isolation. I shared my own story then, the one I'd kept buried. I've been gay since high school, Ryan. Hid it from everyone, including you, because I didn't want to lose what we had. His eyes widened, a mix of surprise and relief. I suspected, but why didn't you say? Same reason you didn't, I replied. Fear. The admission bridged something between us, turning the cabin into a confessional. We talked for hours, unpacking years of suppressed emotions. For the first time, it felt like we were seeing each other clearly. But reality intruded with a knock at the door. It was Sarah. She'd tracked his phone. Her face was thunderous as she stormed in. What the hell is this? You disappear and Alex is here? Are you too? She stopped, piecing it together. Ryan stood, pale. Sarah, I'm gay. Or bi. I don't know, but I can't marry you. The words hung like smoke. Sarah's eyes filled with tears, betrayal etching lines on her face. And you knew? She turned to me, voice breaking. I nodded, guilt crashing over me.
I'm sorry.
She slapped Ryan, the sound echoing. You coward. Wasting my time. Lying to me. Then she looked at me. And you, my friend, covered for him? The accusation stung because it was true. Sarah left in a fury, tires screeching on gravel. Ryan collapsed onto the couch, head in hands. I ruined her life. We both did, I said, sitting beside him. In that moment of shared regret, he leaned in, our lips meeting tentatively. It was soft, real, born of vulnerability rather than alcohol. But even as warmth spread through me, doubt whispered. Was this love, or just escape? We spent the night talking, no more kisses, just raw honesty. Ryan decided to come out to his parents at the upcoming family dinner. I have to, he said. No more hiding. I promised to stand by him, though fear gnawed at me. My own coming out loomed. If we pursued this, I'd have to face my family too. Driving back to the city the next day, hope flickered alongside anxiety. But Sarah's parting words haunted me. You'll pay for this. Back in New York, the backlash started small. Sarah told mutual friends, and whispers turned to stares at work. My boss, a conservative type, pulled me aside. Heard about Ryan. Hope it's not affecting your performance. The implication was clear. Association could cost me. Then Ryan's parents called him home to Texas for an emergency talk. He flew out, leaving me to field calls from worried friends. Is it true? One asked. I confirmed, feeling exposed. The dinner with his family was a disaster. Ryan texted updates. Dad's furious. Mom's crying. They quoted Bible verses, called it a phase, demanded he see a therapist. They threatened to cut me off, he said when he called later, voice hoarse. But I stood my ground. Pride swelled in me, but so did worry. His dad's influence ran deep, church community, business ties. Coming out meant losing that network. Meanwhile, my mom visited unexpectedly. Over coffee, she probed. Sarah says Ryan's. Confused. And you're involved. Her tone dripped disapproval. I took a breath. Mom, I'm gay. And yes, Ryan and I are figuring things out. Silence stretched. Then she stood. Your father will be devastated. We raised you better. She left without another word. The door slam echoing my fracturing world. The price was mounting. Friendships strained. Family ties frayed. Ryan returned a week later, changed. They disowned me, he said flatly, crashing at my place. We navigated the fallout together, job hunting for him, therapy sessions for both. Intimacy grew slowly, stolen moments amid chaos. But resentment simmered. Why had he dragged me into this? One night it boiled over. You used me as a safety net, I accused. While you cheated and lied, Ryan fired back. And you hid your feelings for years. We're both guilty. The fight left us exhausted, but closer, forged in fire. Yet external pressures mounted. Sarah filed for emotional distress or something, rumors flew. Friends picked sides, some ghosting us. At a group gathering, old college buddies confronted Ryan. You broke her heart, man. That's not cool. He defended himself, but the isolation hurt. I lost a promotion at work, subtly blamed on distractions. The societal grind was relentless, chipping away at our resolve. As winter set in, we clung to each other, but cracks appeared. Ryan missed his family, questioned if this was worth it. Maybe I can go back, pretend. The words cut deep. After all this? I asked. He sighed. The cost is too high. Doubt seeded, threatening to uproot everything. Was our connection strong enough to withstand the storm, or would it crumble under the weight of regret? The holidays amplified the isolation. Thanksgiving came, and for the first time, Ryan and I spent it alone in my apartment. Take-out turkey instead of family feasts. He stared at his phone, scrolling through old photos of gatherings back home. They haven't called, he murmured, voice thick with unshed tears. I squeezed his hand. Give it time. But inside, anger at his parents boiled. How could they abandon their son over love? My own family was silent too. Dad's email was curt. Need space to process. The rejection stung, a constant ache. We tried to build new traditions, decorating a tiny tree, but the cheer felt forced. One evening, Ryan broke down. I miss them, Alex. What if I made a mistake? His vulnerability pulled at me, but so did frustration. A mistake? Loving who you are. We argued again, cycles of blame and reconciliation wearing us thin. Therapy helped some, our counselor urged patience, but real life didn't pause. Bills piled up. Ryan's job search stalled. Employers wary of his personal drama. Then came the betrayal that shook us. Sarah, in her pain, outed us publicly on social media. A scathing post detailing Ryan's infidelity, tagging friends and family. Beware the liars, she wrote. The post went viral in our circles. Comments flooding in. Supportive for her, condemnatory for us. Ryan's sister messaged him. How could you humiliate us? My cousin, the one Dad disowned, reached out to me. Welcome to the club. It gets better. But the immediate fallout was brutal. Ryan spiraled, drinking more, withdrawing. This is my fault, he repeated. I tried to pull him back, but resentment grew. Why was I paying for his choices? At a low point, I confided in an old friend, Mike, who listened sympathetically over coffee. You've been through hell, he said. His hand brushed mine, a spark I hadn't felt since Ryan. Guilt hit instantly. I pushed it down, but the seed was planted. Was I capable of the same betrayal? Christmas Eve, Ryan's dad called unexpectedly. Son, we want to talk. Hope lit Ryan's face as he put it on speaker. But the conversation turned sour fast. We'll help if you end this phase. Come home. Marry a nice girl. Ryan's jaw set.
No, Dad.
This is me. The line went dead. Another door slammed. That night, we held each other, tears mixing. But intimacy felt distant, overshadowed by grief. New Year brought resolve. Ryan landed a job at a progressive firm, one that celebrated diversity. A fresh start, he said. We moved in together officially, a small apartment in Brooklyn symbolizing commitment. Friends who stuck around through a housewarming, tentative normalcy returning. But societal whispers persisted, stares in public, muttered slurs. One day, walking hand in hand, a stranger shouted, "Fags!" Ryan flinched, grip tightening. "Ignore it," I said. But the incident lingered, eroding our confidence. Internal conflicts deepened. Ryan struggled with faith, raised in church, now questioning doctrines that condemned him. "Is love a sin?" he asked one night. I had no answers, my own agnosticism clashing with his turmoil. We debated ethics, his cheating versus my silence, the morality of appending lives for personal truth. Was it selfish? He wondered. Or necessary? The questions haunted us, decisions prices manifesting in sleepless nights. Then, a turning point. Ryan's mom reached out secretly. "I miss you," she texted. They met in a neutral cafe, her eyes red from crying. "Your dad's stubborn, but I want to understand." It was a crack in the wall, hope flickering. Ryan returned elated. She listened, but it came with conditions: keep it quiet, no public displays. Compromise or concession? We argued. "It's a start," he insisted. "Or a cage," I countered. The tension peaked when I suggested therapy together again. "We need help." Sessions uncovered layers. My fear of abandonment, his internalized homophobia. Progress was slow, painful. Meanwhile, Sarah moved on, dating someone new, her posts a reminder of the hurt we'd caused. Guilt prompted Ryan to apologize in person. She accepted, but warned, "Don't expect forgiveness overnight." The meeting lifted a weight, but scars remained. As spring bloomed, our relationship strengthened, small victories accumulating. We attended a pride event, anonymous in the crowd, a taste of freedom. But backlash followed. A conservative relative leaked our story to Ryan's church community, petitions circulating to pray for his soul. His boss called him in. Some clients are uncomfortable. The job hung by a thread, forcing a choice. Tone it down or fight. Ryan chose fight, outing himself in a company email. Support poured in from colleagues, but so did hate mail. The strain tested us. One night, after a particularly vicious online troll, Ryan snapped. "Maybe we should take a break. This is too much." Hurt exploded. "After everything? You're running again." He backtracked, but the words lingered, trust fractured. I confided in Mike again, this time over drinks. His empathy turned flirtatious. "You deserve better." Temptation loomed, a dangerous escape. I left before crossing lines, but shame followed. Was I no better than Ryan had been? Reconciliation came through confrontation. "We can't keep hurting each other," I said. Ryan agreed, vowing transparency. We rebuilt brick by brick, but the world kept throwing stones. Family reunions loomed, mine in summer. "Will you come?" I asked. He nodded, steeling himself. The decision meant facing my dad's judgment head-on. As we prepared, anxiety mounted. Would acceptance come, or more rejection? The path ahead was fraught, each step a gamble on love versus loss. Summer brought the family reunion in Ohio, a sprawling backyard affair with aunts, uncles, and cousins I'd avoided for months. Ryan insisted on coming, his hand steady in mine during the flight. "We're in this together," he said, but his eyes betrayed nerves. Landing, the humid air felt oppressive, mirroring the dread. My parents picked us up, Mom's hug stiff, Dad's handshake curt. "Good to see you, son," he said, ignoring Ryan. The drive home was silent, tension thick as fog. At the house, relatives swarmed. Whispers started immediately. "That's the boyfriend?" Aunt Linda pulled me aside. "Your poor mother. This is hard on her." I bit back retorts, focusing on survival. Ryan charmed where he could, but Dad cornered him in the kitchen. "What are your intentions with my boy?" Ryan met his gaze. "To love him, sir. Honestly." Dad snorted. "Love? This isn't natural." The words echoed my fears, stirring old insecurities. Dinner was a minefield. Cousin Jake, the golden child, toasted traditional family values, eyes flicking our way. Ryan squeezed my knee under the table, a silent anchor. But when Uncle Tom joked about those gays in the news, I snapped. Enough. We're right here. Silence fell, then arguments erupted. Mom defended me weakly. He's still our son. Dad exploded. Not like this. He stormed out, leaving hurt in his wake. Ryan and I retreated to the guest room, his arms around me as I shook. We'll get through, he whispered. But doubt crept in. Was forcing acceptance worth the pain? The next day, a heart-to-heart with Mom. I don't understand, but I love you, she said, tears flowing. It was progress, bittersweet. Dad remained distant, but didn't kick us out, leaving relief mixed with sorrow. One step at a time, Ryan said on the plane. Back in New York, normalcy resumed, but the visit highlighted divides. Ryan's mom visited secretly, bonding over coffee. Your dad's softening, she confided. Hope grew, fragile but real. Work challenges persisted. Ryan's firm faced a client boycott over his openness, forcing layoffs. He was spared, but stress mounted. Maybe I should have stayed quiet, he admitted. I countered. Then you'd be miserable. Our debates turned philosophical, balancing authenticity with pragmatism. Moral quandaries arose. Was outing ourselves a right or a risk? The answers blurred, decisions haunting. A new conflict emerged when Mike confessed feelings for me. I've liked you for years, he said over lunch. Shocked, I rejected him. I'm with Ryan. But the encounter stirred guilt. I'd leaned on Mike during rough patches. Telling Ryan sparked jealousy. Were you tempted? He asked, hurt flashing. No. I lied partially, the omission a crack in our foundation. Trust waned, arguments frequent. We're paying for past sins, Ryan said. Therapy intensified, uncovering patterns. My avoidance, his impulsivity. We worked through, but external forces pressed. Sarah's new boyfriend, a mutual acquaintance, spread rumors, poisoning wells. Friends distanced further. Isolation bred paranoia. Who could we trust? One night, Ryan suggested moving. To San Francisco, somewhere accepting. The idea tempted, but felt like running. We fight here, I insisted. Compromise. Plan a future, but stand ground now. Fall brought a pivotal moment. Ryan's dad suffered a health scare. A mild heart attack. Ryan rushed to Texas, me by his side despite warnings. At the hospital, tension peaked. Dad glowered. You brought him. Ryan stood firm. He's family. In the waiting room, vulnerable, Dad opened up. I don't get it, but I don't want to lose you. Tears flowed. A tentative bridge built. Not full acceptance, but a start. Ryan's relief was palpable, the weight lifting slightly. Back home, momentum built. We volunteered at LGBTQ centers, finding community. Bonds strengthened, purpose emerging from pain. But scars reminded. Lost friends, strained careers. One evening, reflecting, Ryan said, the price was high, but worth it. I agreed, our connection deeper for the trials. Yet doubts lingered. Had we hurt too many?
Moral ambiguities shadowed joy.
As winter approached, a final test, our first anniversary. We planned a quiet dinner, but Sarah crashed it, uninvited. I forgive you, she said, surprising us. But don't forget the hurt. Her words prompted reflection, growth through accountability. We toasted to resilience, but undercurrents of regret swirled. The year had been a gauntlet of confrontations, each decision exacting a toll. Families mended slowly, society pushed back relentlessly. In quiet moments, I wondered, was our love a triumph or a tragedy? The answer evolved daily, shaped by choices yet to come. With wounds healing unevenly, we pressed forward into the new year. Ryan's job stabilized, mine too, as allies emerged at work. We hosted a small gathering for accepting friends, laughter filling our apartment for the first time in months. But echoes of past betrayals lingered. Ryan's cheating, my secrets, Sarah's pain. We confronted them head-on in therapy, peeling layers to reveal raw truths. Forgiveness starts within, our counselor said. Ryan struggled most, guilt over Sarah a constant shadow. One day he proposed amends. A letter to her, detailing his journey without excuses. I owe her that. I supported, though envy flickered. Why her, not us? The response came weeks later. I've moved on. Wish you well. Closure, hard one. It freed Ryan, our intimacy deepening, though always tempered by caution. Public affection remained rare, societal eyes watchful. Family dynamics shifted gradually. My dad called sporadically, awkward conversations turning warmer. Tell Ryan hi, he said once, a milestone. Ryan's parents invited us for Easter, conditions attached. No PDA. We debated, accept or reject. It's progress, Ryan argued. I conceded, the visit tense but civil. Dad preached tolerance subtly. Mom hugged us goodbye. Small victories, but the underlying judgment grated. Was partial acceptance enough, or a compromise of self? Societal pressures evolved too. A local news story on LGBTQ rights featured us anonymously, our story inspiring others. Messages poured in. Support, shared struggles. But hate mail followed, threats that chilled. We installed security, paranoia creeping. Is this the life we want? Ryan asked. The question hung, forcing reevaluation. Had our choices empowered or endangered? Internal awakenings peaked during a retreat for queer couples. Workshops delved into trauma, identity. Ryan confronted his bisexuality fully, embracing fluidity. I unpacked resentment, realizing my silence had enabled his deception. We both chose wrong at times, I admitted. Bonds reformed stronger, decisions now joint. But the retreat highlighted divides. Some couples thrived openly, others hid. Where did we fit? Back in the city, a crisis hit. Ryan's sister eloped with a woman, outing herself. Family chaos ensued, Dad blaming Ryan's influence. You started this, he accused over the phone. Ryan defended, love isn't contagion. The fallout drew us closer, supporting his sister remotely. She thanked us. Your courage gave me mine. Ripple effects, our pain birthing others' freedom. But the cost to family unity? Irreparable fractures. As summer returned, we faced a crossroads. Ryan got a job offer in California, progressive haven. A new beginning, he said. I hesitated, leaving meant abandoning fights here, but staying risked burnout. We weighed pros. Acceptance, community. Cons, uprooting, distance from mending families. The decision tore at us, arguments heated. You're scared of change, he accused. And you're escaping again, I retorted. Compromise eluded, tension mounting to a breaking point. One stormy night, it culminated. Maybe we need space, Ryan said, echoing past fears. Hurt exploded. After all we've sacrificed? He backtracked, but damage done. I stormed out, wandering rain-slicked streets, questioning everything. Had love been worth the wreckage? Returning hours later, we talked till dawn, vowing to decide together. California won, fresh start, but with ties to home. Packing, reflections surged. The reunion kiss had ignited a year of turmoil. Confrontations with self, family, society. Betrayals stung, but led to truths. Damages. Broken engagements, lost jobs, strained bonds. Gains. Authenticity, love, growth. As we loaded the U-Haul, Ryan kissed me openly, neighbors watching. No slurs this time. Progress? Settling in San Francisco, freedom tasted sweet. Pride parades, accepting circles. Families visited tentatively, bridges strengthening. But memories of pain persisted, a reminder of prices paid. Ryan thrived in his role, I in mine. Our story became a quiet testament, shared in support groups. Yet, in quiet moments, ethical dilemmas resurfaced. Had we been right to upend lives for personal happiness? Or selfish, disregarding collateral hurt? The answers remained gray, choices debatable. As we built our future, one question lingered, inviting scrutiny. Was pursuing hidden love, despite the betrayals and damages it caused to others, ultimately the morally correct path, or a self-serving illusion that justified unnecessary suffering?